guys, welcome to the channel. It's Adam with ND72. So today, as you see, we have a SUV up on the lift. What SUV is this? This is my 2003 Ml55 AMG. So this bad girl is lifted. It's on 35-inch mud tires. It's got some side pipes, a little bit of exhaust stuff, and some minor other performance stuff. Mainly I do this car is for a parts hauler, some off-roader. I go have fun. It's a good little cruiser, but it has its issues. Today we're going to be resolving all the issues, and one of the big issues is why I haven't been driving so much. It's something up in the driver's side front. Something broke. And what is that something? My CV axle broke. So basically I'm having a loud clunking noise, like clunk, 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 and you kind of feel it binding up from time to time. It's coming from the driver's side, so we're going to rip this bad girl out, throw a new one in, and then tackle the other issues I'll show you throughout the video. I want to get this bad girl back on the road. It's summertime. I want to go have fun with it. It's coming up to hurricane season, so I need this bad girl to be ready, mainly because where I live in Florida and all that stuff, we flood over here, and you need a vehicle to get in and out from the hurricanes hit. So we're going to start knocking this bad girl out. Alright, so we got the truck up in the air. First thing I want to do is start getting the wheels and the spacers off. So we're just going to whiz all those off, and mine are 35, so these are pretty effing heavy, so just be careful with them. Bollocks. Holy crap, these are heavy. So we'll take these bad girls, roll them to the side. Alright, now that we got that, we're going to start getting my big old spacers off. If you don't know, I'm going to show you what I got on these. So what I got are some big old spacers just to help my 35s fit and give a better offset. So these bolt right up. They literally bolt onto it. So we're going to unbolt these bad girls now. Alright, so you're going to go get a 36 for this nut right here. And then also, if you can see, since I have my car lifted, you see this angle on full... This is full lift. Basically, like everything off the car. This is what usually breaks these. And you can see my boots are ripped. So most likely I flung all the grease out, didn't notice it, and destroyed the CV axle. So we're going to be knocking that out. Also, we're going to be taking this bolt out over here because I just don't want to break anything. And might be doing the upper control arm. I want to see how hard it is to actually get this axle out. But first, let's get this nut off. So we got the ABS sensor out of the way just in case. And then also what I did, if you see, I put... This one's the secondary, but I put a jack stand under here to help straighten out the axle. And then we're just going to take a hammer and we're going to try to bang it backwards. I'm hoping I could get it all without moving the suspension too much. So I'm just going to take like a brass punch, hit it, and go straight forward. Alright, so unfortunately I could not just get it out. It got stuck over there. So I'm going to drop the control arm, pop it out from this bolt right here, which is a 19. And then I got my little contraption right there to spread it so I don't ruin this bushing. And then this should drop this way and give me plenty of room. Be careful when you do this. Don't rip any of your lines out or anything. So make sure you have jack stands and support, and be careful, especially with this tool. It does pop tendency. Alright, now that we got the upper control arm bolt out, which was pretty simple to destroy the bushing, look at all this FN space we got. So my plan is I'm going to get a pry bar and just start like prying at it. I gotta break the seal over here, so these just kind of like have a little clip that they go into. So I'm gonna knock that out with just a pry bar, and this bad girl should come right out. Alright guys, we got the axle out, but now it's a little bit of talking. I bought this truck used. This truck has 190,000 miles. Okay? When you buy used vehicles, people tend to do maintenance or do things differently. I need to show you something I did not know was the difference. Let me tell you guys a little something. The Ml55 has a lot of suspension and drivetrain and other train differences from an Ml320 and a 430. I knew this. I didn't know everything that was different. I even made a video, and I just found out one more thing that was different. Now remember, I ordered my parts for an Ml55. That's all cool and good. Look what I just pulled out. This is what just came out of the car. Even says Ml320. The axles are different. So it looks like they will bolt up, but this looks way beefier. Look at the boot difference. Look at just this shaft is more thicker. This is thicker. Everything looks a little bit thicker except the input, or I don't know if you call that input outputs. Those are basically identical. The length is identical, but it looks like from here to here, the Ml55 is beefier. So this is now going to be an upgrade for my one that snapped. And this one is all wobbly, all broken. So it definitely ripped and broke here and here. This one is like solid, like This is pretty effing solid. This is pretty wobbly, like if you could see. So to throw it in, it's going to be reverse order. Just I'm going to put a little bit of oil and lube on each side to make them go easier. So when you're pulling this side out, this is the clip that locks into things. So you just got to give it a pretty good tug or a little bit of a pry right here, and you'll pop it right out. You don't really care about damaging the old one. So with the new one, just make sure you have the splines all lined up and everything, and keep going. Also, just for funsies, I want to measure these. So this is the Ml55 from Amazon. It is, what is that? 31.1 millimeters. And then this is the Ml321. It's 28.5. So this is a few millimeters thicker. Let's see if I could maybe measure this. This is not scientifical. Just funsies. All right, that one is 90. Oh, yeah. 87. So both of these, the hole from here to here is thicker. The shafts are probably going to be identical. Let's check these. Yeah, they're identical. And I'm assuming it's identical over here, too. So, here's a fun fact. If you have an ML430 or 320, order some ML55 axles when yours break. They are bigger and stronger from here to here, and they bolt right up because these bolted in my car. Now, this is a fun, surprising thing for me, at least, because I broke these axles. Granted, I off-road the car, I treat the car like a PO. Like, I have fun with the car, not a POS, but I have fun with the car. And now I know that since I broke these axles, I'm getting the upgraded, well, the proper ones for that. So also, if you have these are older vehicles. Sometimes these axles, they're not really cheap. I think this one was a couple $100. I bet you, if you went to a junkyard and looked at a 321, I bet they're half the price. That's probably why people do it. So if you have an old ML W163 and you were breaking axles, buy the ML55 ones. They're an upgrade for at least the driver front. I'm assuming they would be all around, but the driver front I wouldn't 100% sure. So we're going to knock these bad girls out and then move on. So we got it all back on, and this is how it kind of looks. That's the angle it's always going to sit at. So a little aggressive just for the height I have on it, but this new axle I'm hoping will last a lot longer. Like, everything is more beefier on this bad girl. So that should be pretty good. Next, what I'm going to do is my star. Actually kind of like broke off. Looks like someone glued it before. So my grill is like nothing. So we'll just clean all that up and fix it. Just going to re-glue it. Not going to buy a new grill. Hey guys, do you have an SLK32 or an SL55? Or any car with an M11-2K or M11-3K, then I got a product especially for you guys that you're gonna like. What we got right here is Needs Wings modified surge tanks with crossover tubes, and their fancy dress-up kit hardware. This unit right here will help performance and lower boost in your cars. They make them for M11-3s and M11-2Ks. Now, this product right here is what you need if you're thinking about running stacked pulleys, more boost, or almost anything. This will drop your PSI down without losing any horsepower. So you know what that means? Better air intake temperatures, more actual horsepower, and safer for your motor. They bolt right up with no modifications, directly into your factory areas, allow you to actually have boost sensors back there, or run nitrous with a series of bungs. This is such a good product, and I got it on both of my cars. Now, what you might say is like, oh, that doesn't really add too much power. Well, I made a video proving it actually does. And look it, they actually make the engine bay pop, and it doesn't look too crazy. It looks almost factory. So if you're thinking about what your next performance mod should be for an M11-3 or an M11-2K motor, modified surge tanks are the way to go. Now, also, if people are still doubting their performance, I'm making a video where it's really showing how much boost drop you do with the same amount of power. And not to toot my own horn, but me, Adam at ND72, I have basically the world's fastest SLK32 in the world, and I'm not running a crazy pulley system. I am technically the second fastest, but the first if you don't count nitrous or meth. So, that kind of says it right there. And this car, all it really has done to it is stacked pulleys, which is a 178, a 65 millimeter, long tube headers, tuning from VTEC, and a lot of Needs Wings parts. But these modified surge tanks were a big part of it to keep my boost down. On my motor, it dropped at 5 PSI, same power. So my temps went way down. So what I think, almost every M11K should have one of these, or you go top mounts, which I did that on my E55, but it's a lot more money. So if you're talking about money, you want to purchase one of these, you go to needswings.com, and if you want to save a little bit money, I got a 10% off coupon code for you. So you go to needswings.com, put your items in your basket, and then off the surge tanks, if you put, where'd you hear about it from, put ND_72. That'll get you 10% off surge tanks for M11-2Ks, M11-3Ks, and these cool intakes and crank pulleys for the M11-2K, and some intakes for a C32, and the list goes on. So next time you're on needswings.com, make sure you put anything you're purchasing, where'd you hear about us from, ND_72. You'll get 10% discounts on not all their items, but some of their items, and one of them is a modified surge tank set. So, hope you guys like it. Go make some purchases, and back to the video. Alright, now that we got the CV axle back, we're going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's not an upgrade, but this is going to be repair, and not, how I say this, we're not doing it in the proper way, but we're doing it in an easier way. So, the issue we have with the ML right now is the AC and the heat is basically going at the same time. So 90% sure my blend door is effed up. What the blend door is, this little actuator actuates a door that will put heat and or AC, so hot or cold air, into the cab. I'm basically just getting both. So I'm pretty sure it's stuck, and it's effing hot in that car, especially in this Florida heat where it's 100 degrees. So we got a new one of these. They're relatively inexpensive, but to do it, you're supposed to remove the dash. Yeah, we ain't doing that. We were going to try to find, if I remember, there's like a cheaper, easier way to do this, where you kind of break something and then glue it back together, but it saves you hours of removing this dash of all these other little pieces. Let me show you. So your blend door is like right back there. So instead of pulling out the dash, what we're going to be trying to do is remove the glove box and remove this center piece and try to see if we could get to it. I'm pretty sure I can without having to remove all this stuff. It'll save us a lot of time and the risk of breaking anything. Alright, to remove this part, you're going to have a T20 right here, T20 here, and the same on the other side. And then under here, if we could see it, you see right here, they're teeny little push pins. So there's a little insert that you can either try to do with your finger, or I'm just going to do it with my Torx bit and push those in and out to pop it down. Should be pretty easy like this. If I remember, it's something like this. So you got to push these out. See how it pushed in? And then this will pop out with a screwdriver. So we're going to knock all that out. Alright, now that you got all those out, this should just slide right out. We got a series of plugs, one right here, and one over there for the light, back here. So you're going to have to get your hand right here and unplug them. So the piece you're looking for is right here, actually. So it's right back there, which is hard to see. Like, you can move stuff out of the way and see it right back there. But what I want to do is get this out of the way, because I want to remove the airbag, which you could see I could get to some of the bolts here. 1, 2, but I just can't get to the ones back there. So this is glued in and then bolted in over here. So we're going to get a pry bar and break this. Now I'm going to say one thing. If you have a mint premium Ml55, pull apart the dash if you want. My car is not perfect on the inside. The interior is not the best. The outside, like literally this is a toy. So I'm going to break it off and then hot glue it back on. And I am A-okay with that. No one should ever really notice, I hope. I've never done this at the dealer. Usually I just pull the whole effing dash, but someone did tell me this trick, so we are going to try it today. So I got my pry bar under here, and as you can see, it's already starting lifting it up. So I'm just going to put the camera down and just start working at this. You probably could take your hand. Oop, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. Use the pry bar on the little crease, and we'll get that off. All right, we got this piece off. Now we're kind of going to just force it up to give me access, and hopefully nothing cracks. All right, so I just put a little pry bar over there. So you could sit there and get these 10 mils off if you want. I'm not wasting my time. The bolts you were trying to get at were for the airbag. You see there's a 10 mil there. There's one up there, 2 over here. Just when you do it, make sure you have your battery disconnected, because you are going to be having to disconnect the pyros for it to get the airbag out of the way so you could get access to back there. So we're just going to throw our gun in there, take all those out. All right, now you have actual access to it. So it is the one with the red clip right here. So once you get the airbag out, you can see it pretty effing easily. And then you're going to take the red clip out, and then you're going to have 2 screws. So the screws are going to be here and here. Top, bottom. This is not a screw over here, so these are 2 Phillips. So you need like a stubby or something to get in there, because you're going to go right down here and right back there. So it's a little bit tricky. You could do it without removing the dash. All right, so we got it out. Here's the old, here's the new. One little worrying thing, the original factory Mercedes actuator is metal up here. This new one's plastic. Not a big fan of that, but this whole thing was effed up anyway, so it just really is what it is. So when you also pull it off, there's a rod that's in there, so let's make sure you put the rod back on, and then literally the reverse order. So you're gonna need quite a little bit of tools, like little teeny, whatever your extension is, but it's doable. So now we're gonna throw it back in and test it. All right, so it's a little loud in here. Let's kind of turn the AC down a little bit. We got it working pretty good. We're in a garage and we're doing the testing phase. So I kind of want to show you how cold it's getting now, when before it was basically boiling hot. So now we get, remember we're not driving, we're not holding it, 62. This is like not the most accurate, but yeah, 60 in there in the laser, 55, 56 on the driver's side. I don't really know why driver's side is so much colder, but I'm okay with that. I think I might have a different blend door broken for that, but I want to show you, this is not bolted down. I want to actually show you how it works. Let me get the flashlight. So we're gonna lower fan speed just for the noise, but everything else should work. Okay, so can you see? Let me try to get a good angle of everything over there. So, come on, focus camera. All right, you see right there? I'm gonna go to heat. There's our lever we just put in, move. Wow, cool. And then you go back to AC. And you can actually see it move. You can see all the stuff moving over here if you really want it while you're in here. Like there's for the recirc door, so we're gonna basically shut off so we get outside air. See that one moving? Let's turn outside air back on. So you could actually, with this piece removed, you could check almost all of your little blend doors. There's another one back there. Jeez, it's not focusing though. All right, pick the focus back there mechanism. Let's see if we get it. My camera's a little bit wonky, I guess. So there's one back there. Let's see if we get the... Yeah, you see that arm move in? Not bad. You can see all this stuff move pretty good now. Pretty happy with it. We're gonna let it crank up, check a few more things, and then start buttoning it back up. So we're on the GoPro, and... Let me shut the music off because I was jamming. I almost fell. The ML now broken and worse than it ever was. I'm pretty sure I just destroyed a transfer case. We took her off-roading. I'm literally dirty. We went for some fun after I did the AC and the axle, and I sent it way too hard in low gear, and I was effing around real bad, getting stuck and all that. I should have recorded it, but I thought this was gonna be nothing. But now listen. Yeah, we're screwed. We were able to get it back here with my little tractor because I was not too far from home. I had to walk pretty far effing back, and I drove my tractor all the way over there. And now I got my GoPro, so we're gonna try to see if I can pull it even farther. This little tractor is, I'm uphill now, and before we were all downhill, so we finally hit the uphill slope of my property and all that. So I got a neutral, and let's see what happens. Alright, so we're gonna end this video on my GoPro. Definitely destroyed the transfer case. It went under again. It actually popped in at one point and almost kind of like hit me a little bit. Yeah, that transfer case is effed. I think either a sprocket or a chain broke, so that's kind of going to be the end of the video. We are now going to have to order a transfer case. I got two options. We either could do the upgrade Jeep Wrangler transfer case, which it's a lot of adapters and I need to price it out, or I'm going to look online just for a used one, maybe with 90-day warranty, something on eBay or something like that, just to get the car back up and going before I look up all the prices on the upgraded one. So we're gonna price out, just see how long it takes for those parts to get here and how much actual labor it is, if it's inconvenient for me to do it or just a big old headache. We'll see. I might wanna just give a factory one another chance. This one had right under 200,000 miles on it, and I've been beating the poop out of it for a while now. So it was deemed to break. The next one might last a little bit longer, but we'll see. So hopefully you guys like the video. Hopefully you like the channel. If you guys want me to do anything else with the ML after I get it fixed, let me know, and I'll catch you guys later.